Hi peeps! Magic is super cool in Elden Ring, and it's fun to blow up enemies with powerful magic. But there's one thing that always stops the fun. Rolling enemies! They think they're so cool, dodge rolling through all my magic attacks. Ugh! I recently did a pure magic playthrough and boy oh boy were humanoid enemies a pain in my butt! Well, you can say goodbye to those acrobatics and say hello to invisibility sorcery. Invisibility sorcery is made up of two spells, and it's a subcategory of night sorcery, which is a category of magics that help deal specifically with dodge rollers. It was really meant for assassination. Don't ask me how I know that. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. All this magic was invented in Sellia, town of sorcery, and the sorcery spells and staff I will be talking about today can be found there as well. Night Shard is the first spell of invisibility sorcery. It's a quick, semi-invisible projectile that enemies will not dodge. You know how I just said all the sorcery spells I'm talking about can be found in Sellia? That's sort of a half-truth, because you have to buy the Night Shard from Gowry on the outskirts of Sellia. You also have to progress his quest line to the point where it'll actually teach you his magic, so there's that. Night Comet is the second spell of invisibility sorcery. It's a slower but more powerful semi-invisible projectile for those extra tough enemies who also try to dodge? Huh? Now, some of you peeps might know that enemies don't dodge the other night sorcery spells either. But what you might not know is that there's a really cool staff that enhances only invisibility sorcery. It's called the Staff of Loss. This little staff looks like a branch that broke off a tree, but don't let appearances fool you. It boosts invisibility sorcery by a whopping 30%. That's crazy! Now, some peeps might think the ambush shard is a part of the invisibility sorcery, and thus it should be boosted by the Staff of Loss. From the lack of the word invisible in ambush shard's description, we can tell it's not an invisibility sorcery. It's just a sneaky, backstabbing type of sorcery that doesn't work if your enemy knows how to walk sideways. Night Shard and Night Comet clearly state they are semi-invisible. They should have called it semi-invisibility sorcery. Let's go take a look at some damage numbers so we can tell how good the Staff of Loss is. Hello my old friends, the training dummy giants of Limgrave. They are volunteering as our damage soakers today.
I didn't volunteer.
With just a regular old glintstone staff, one shot of Night Shard does 115 damage. When we use the Staff of Loss, a shot of Night Shard does 136 damage. As we upgrade the Staff of Loss, our damage is going to skyrocket. Now hold on, I can already hear you saying,
"But Lazy Casper, that's not 30% or damage."
At +0, the Staff of Loss has 154 sorcery scaling, while the Glintstone Staff has 163 sorcery scaling. I upgraded the Staff of Loss to +2 to achieve equality with 163 sorcery scaling. When we blast the training dummy again, darn it, a headshot! Normally that's cause for celebration, but not during a comparison. Now, Night Shard does 149 damage. Now that's more like it. That's right, hide your face in shame. Oh no, I didn't mean it, let's run! We're going to do all the tests with an intelligence of 60 and compare damage at different upgrade levels on the Staff of Loss. Let's start with the Night Shard and test it on an evil, dodge-rolling NPC invader, Bloody Finger Nary Juice. At +0, Night Shard does 109 damage. At +6, Night Shard does even more at 136 damage. At +12, Night Shard's going crazy at 160 damage. At +18, Night Shard's doing a whopping 185 damage. And at +24, Night Shard's doing an explosive 212 damage. It's good damage, but the big factor here is that the enemy isn't dodge rolling through your every move. You don't have to wait for an opportune moment any longer. Just blast away. I messed up and died. Ignore that, pretend I didn't die. Let's shoot magic at Nary Juice again, but with the Night Comet this time. At +0, Night Comet does 277 damage. At +6, Night Comet's doing better at 338 damage. At +12, Night Comet's gone all the way up to 400 damage. At +18, Night Comet's doing an insane 462 damage. And at +24, Night Comet is doing a crazy 524 damage. That's huge! Look at that beautiful sight. No dodge, and Nary Juice is slain to bits! That's so satisfying! Who's lying on the ground now, Nary Juice? I'm just mad at Nary Juice because I started a bow-only playthrough recently, and he kept dodging my darned arrows. You wouldn't think it, but procuring arrows are a nightmare early game. I'm barely breaking even. Anyways, if you're tired of enemies that dodge through your spells, now you know how to deal with their roly-poly butts. Remember to like and subscribe, or my semi-invisible spells might pay you a visit. See you next time. Bye!